And this is a fun one if you're entertaining, kind of a communal dish, and it smells amazing. To make these drunken clams, you're going to need a tablespoon of olive oil, 4 tablespoons of butter, 2 shallots minced, 6 cloves of garlic minced, a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, salt, and black pepper, 2 cups of a white wine. Today I'm using a Chardonnay, 4 or 5 pounds of clams, and a fourth a cup of minced parsley. I scrub these clams with a kitchen brush under cold water, and then I have them in a bowl with ice while I'm getting this recipe going here. I like to serve this with garlic bread. If you want to see a recipe how to make compound garlic butter, I'll put the link in the description box and a card above. It's a wonderful recipe to do because when butter goes on sale, you can make a whole bunch of it and put it in your freezer. I use it for garlic bread. You can use it for making pasta. You can use it in making homemade scalloped potatoes. I mean, you can put it on some meat. It's crazy. I use it all the time. But, okay, so I'm going to get this garlic bread in the oven, and we're going to get cooking these drunken clams. I have 4 tablespoons of butter melting in a big stock pot. Going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I added the shallots, salt, pepper, and red pepper flakes to the melted butter. We're just going to cook this for like a minute. I'm adding the garlic. And I'm going to place all of these clams here in this pot. All you need to do now is add 2 cups of the wine. I'm going to put a top on it and bring it to a boil, and you just boil it till all of the clams open up. It's starting to boil, so I'm just going to boil it for just a few minutes until the clams open up, and then it's done. You can see that the clams have all opened up. We're going to sprinkle in the parsley, turn off the heat, and we're going to plate these up. To serve this appetizer, I just put all of the clams in a bowl and the bread on a cutting board. I have a little bowl to put the shells, and this is what it looks like. Now, if you come across a clam that doesn't open, just discard it. It means that the clam was already dead. But it looks like these have all opened. And then we have a rule in our house, no double dipping. And I'm going to reserve this juice after we enjoy these clams and convert it into a chowder for lunches this next week. Well, the boys tore it up, and it was so delicious. But I wanted to show you, this is the broth that's left, and I'm going to use that to make like a chowder because it's just full of flavor. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier, the type of clams I typically use are manila clams or the little net clams. I've taken all of that broth and put it in a pan, and I'm adding 2 potatoes that I peeled and diced. And I'm just going to cook this for about maybe like 15 minutes until the potatoes are fork tender. In this bowl, I have equal parts of softened butter and flour. And I'm just going to mash this together and make a paste. I added the butter and flour mixture, and it thickened up the soup. And then I threw in 2 cans of chopped clams and about a fourth a cup of heavy cream. And this is the results. So it's just a really quick way to utilize that wonderful broth that we had left over from the Drunken Clams. And now I have a soup prepared for lunches this upcoming week. So there you go. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of cooking sherry. Okay, I'm just going to add about a tablespoon of cooking sherry at the very end and give it a mix. That's going to give it a wonderful flavor. I'm going to turn off the heat and we have soup for lunches this next week.